Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. A powerful earthquake struck Myanmar earlier today. The magnitude was 7.7 on the Richter scale. Strong tremors were felt in Thailand and Southwest China. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney has said that his nation's old equation with the US is over. Trump on Wednesday unveiled 25% tariffs on cars. Carney has sworn to hit America with similar duties as payback. He promised to make the US feel the impact of his countermeasures. The US Vice President J.D. Vance will land in Greenland today amid a diplomatic row. He's being accompanied by his wife, Usha Vance. This is as Donald Trump keeps expressing his interest in acquiring Greenland. He says it's important for international security. The Vance's trip originally included cultural engagements, but it was cut short after backlash from the people of Greenland. Fresh airstrikes have been reported in Yemen. The Houthis there suspect these strikes were launched by the US. The strikes hit Houthi-controlled areas in the capital Sana'a and in northwest Yemen. The US has ramped up attacks on Houthis since the 15th of March. Their operation purportedly aims to secure shipping routes in the Red Sea from Houthi attacks. Russian President Vladimir Putin wants a temporary administration in Ukraine. He has proposed that it should be supervised by the United Nations. Putin also suggested elections be held and a fresh government be formed in Ukraine. Putin says the newly formed Ukrainian government would then lead peace talks. Putin launched a new Russian nuclear-powered submarine. The vessel is named Pearl. It can carry advanced hypersonic Zircon missiles. Zircon missiles can travel up to 900 kilometers. Putin hailed the new submarine and said it'll enhance Russia's maritime security. Turkey has rejected comments from foreign nations over the arrest of Istanbul's mayor. Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu has been jailed on corruption charges. He is also President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's main political rival. Western powers have called the case against İmamoğlu politically motivated. Nationwide demonstrations in Turkey began 9 days ago and they have not stopped. Iran has said that it has replied to a letter sent by US President Donald Trump about potential nuclear talks. Trump's letter proposed renewed nuclear negotiations. Tehran has reverted to the letter through Oman. Iran's foreign minister said that they won't hold direct negotiations with the US. However, they are open to dialogue through indirect talks. Australia is set to hold national elections on the 3rd of May. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's Labour Party and the opposition Liberal Party are the two main contenders. Opinion polls show a neck-and-neck race between them. In Pakistan, at least 8 people died in the Balochistan province yesterday. A bomb blast was reported in Balochistan's provincial capital, Quetta. At least 3 people were killed there and 21 others were injured. Another attack occurred in Balochistan's Gwadar district. Armed men shot and killed 5 people after intercepting a bus en route to Karachi. In climate news, light rain provided some relief to South Korean authorities battling the country's worst ever wildfires. The blazes, stretching 70 kilometers, have devastated over 45,000 hectares of forest in the country's southeast. At least 28 people have died as strong winds continue to spread the fires. A fast-moving brush fire was raging in the U.S. state of Florida on Wednesday. It scorched over 4 hectares of land near residential areas. This prompted urgent firefighting efforts, and by late evening that day, crews had successfully contained 95% of the blaze. The UK's greenhouse gas emissions fell by 4% in 2024. This is largely due to the shutdown of its last coal-fired power plant and a reduction in industrial pollution. The country is striving for net zero emissions by the year 2050. Britain's electricity sector saw a notable 15% reduction in emissions. Their industrial sector recorded a 9% emission decline. Just Stop Oil, the controversial climate activist group known for high-profile protests, has announced it will cease direct action campaigns by the end of April. The group, which has made headlines for throwing soup at Van Gogh paintings and spraying monuments with orange paint, said it will now focus on other forms of climate advocacy. A new study warns that nearly a third of assessed fungi species are at risk of extinction. This is due to deforestation and agricultural expansion. Despite their essential role in ecosystems and in medicine, fungi remain an overlooked component of biodiversity conservation efforts. Now on to business and tech news. Gold prices climbed up again yesterday to match last week's record high. Spot gold rose by over 1% after US President Donald Trump announced new car tariffs. Elon Musk has said that he aims to cut US federal spending by $1 trillion. He claims the goal can be achieved without impacting government services. Musk said his Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, could bring down US government expenditure to $6 trillion from about $7 trillion. The US has reportedly paused contributions to the World Trade Organization. The report comes amid the Trump administration's bid to cut US federal spending. The US has historically been the top contributor to the WTO budget. US airlines have cut their profit forecasts for the first quarter. Delta, United and American Airlines altered their profit predictions. This comes amid rising economic uncertainty, which has impacted passenger spending. Argentina has announced a $20 billion loan deal with the International Monetary Fund. The deal is aimed at stabilizing the country's economy. Argentina is reeling under economic challenges like high inflation and depleted foreign exchange reserves. The deal and the final loan amount will need to be approved by the IMF board. Lebanon has named asset manager Karim Suaid as its new central bank governor. The deliberations involved US input and divided the country's leadership, but Lebanon hopes to rebuild its shattered economy with the help of the new appointment. Toyota Motors has said its global production increased for a second consecutive month in February. The automaker reported a 6% increase in its production, with about 780,000 vehicles year-on-year. The rise is attributed to stronger sales in Japan. British clothing retailer Next has reported a more than 10% rise in its annual profit. The company confirmed that it made more than £1 billion for the first time. Next said its pre-tax profit was over $1.3 billion. The group's total sales rose by 8.2% to more than $8 billion. Social media platforms X and Reddit experienced outages in the US yesterday. Thousands of American users reported disruptions. Reddit says that its outage was due to a bug in a recent update, which has been fixed. Tencent has made a $1.25 billion investment in a subsidiary unit of Ubisoft. The Chinese technology giant acquired a 25% stake in a new Ubisoft spin-off. The entity will run franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Lucknow beat Hyderabad by 5 wickets in the 7th match of the ongoing Indian Premier League. After winning the toss, visitors Lucknow took to the field. Hyderabad put 190 runs on the scoreboard, despite Shardul Thakur's 4-wicket haul. In response, Lucknow chased down the total with 23 balls remaining. Nicholas Puran scored 70 runs of just 26 balls. Lucknow's Shardul Thakur was named Player of the Match for his 4-wicket haul. Zimbabwe will host South Africa and New Zealand for 2 Test series and a T20 triangular series. They will take place between the 28th of June and the 11th of August. Zimbabwe cricket has billed it as the country's biggest international home season in years. In football, Barcelona beat Osasuna 3-0 in their La Liga clash. Ferran Torres opened the scoring, Dani Olmo converted a penalty in the 21st minute, and Robert Lewandowski hit the back of the net late in the second half to seal the game. With this, Barca have strengthened their pole position in the La Liga table. The English Premier League has announced it will have 2 transfer windows this summer. The first window will remain open between June 1st and June 10th. The second transfer window will open between the 16th of June and September 1st. The expanded transfer window period is due to the FIFA Club World Cup. The tournament will take place in June and July. In tennis, Serbian legend Novak Djokovic has entered the Miami Open semi-finals. The 24-time Grand Slam winner beat America's Sebastian Korda 6-3, 7-6. With this, the 37-year-old Djokovic has become the oldest ATP Masters semi-finalist in Miami. Women's world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka has entered the Miami Open final as well. The Belarusian beat world number 7 Italy's Jasmine Paolini 6-2, 6-2. Sabalenka will meet America's Jessica Pegula in the final. The dream run of Filipino teen Alexandra Ayala ended in the Miami Open semi-finals. The 19-year-old was beaten by Jessica Pegula 7-6, 5-7, 6-3. Despite the loss, Ayala still made history as the first tennis player from the Philippines to advance to the Final Four of a WTA 1000 event. In Formula One, Max Verstappen indicated disquiet with his Red Bull team over replacing Liam Lawson with Yuki Tsunoda. Verstappen linked a post on Instagram by the former driver Guido van der Garde, who described Red Bull's treatment of Lawson as closer to bullying. The International Golf Federation has opened the bid to include mixed competitions at the 2028 Los Angeles Games. Officials lobbying for the bid say that they are optimistic that the proposal will be accepted by the International Olympic Committee. Reports say that India has put the maximum cost of the potential Summer Olympics in Ahmedabad at $7.47 billion. The scope of the Games will span Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar and 4 other places in India: Bhopal, Goa, Mumbai and Pune. In entertainment news, Lady Gaga is set to embark on her Mayhem Ball World Tour in 2025. The journey kicks off on the 16th of July in Las Vegas. This marks her return to arena performances for the first time since 2018. Unlike her previous large-scale stadium shows, this tour promises a more intimate and immersive experience, blending theatrical artistry with live music. Miley Cyrus continues her reign on the top of the charts, earning platinum certifications for 2 of her recent singles. Flowers has reached 7x platinum status, while Used to Be Young is now officially platinum. With these additions, Cyrus now holds 23 platinum records, along with a diamond certification for Party in the USA. Steven Yeun has signed on for Paramount and Nickelodeon's upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender animated film. While details about his role remain undisclosed, the film boasts a notable cast. It's set to release on the 30th of January 2026. The movie is expected to expand the beloved Avatar universe. Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page are set to star in Italiana. It's a romantic comedy in development at Universal Pictures. While plot details remain secret, the film will be directed by Kat Coiro and produced under Will Packer Productions. Netflix has scrapped its Stories interactive mobile game series. It featured titles based on popular shows like Virgin River and Love is Blind. As a result, several employees from the division have been laid off. The move is part of a strategic shift towards mainstream mobile and TV-compatible games. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. This is Utsav Parekh signing off for Firstpost.